Welcome to Bhakti Steps. The prayers on the screen, please start. You can chant with me. Om Agyan Timurandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranitam Yen Tasmai Shri Guru Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sopanantikam. Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Uttapadagamanam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Nita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhudin Manjurupate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavan Shri Vishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vansha Kalpurvesha Papa Sindhu Vayavacha Pritana Bhavanabhyo Vaishnavyo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gauravantananda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So yesterday we went through all these 20 qualities of knowledge, these items of knowledge. So if somebody is having this knowledge, this jnana, it is this. And agyan is all the material knowledge that we study: physics, chemistry, mathematics, finance, economics, medical, whatever. But this is spiritual knowledge. All of this requirements, qualities: accepting a spiritual master, humility, pridelessness, tolerance, non-violence. All this is required for spiritual life. So now we will go to 13th verse. So this chapter, Arjuna asked many questions and Krishna is answering one by one. So he says in 13th chapter, I shall now explain the knowable, knowing which you will taste the eternal, Brahman, the spirit, the beginningless, the subordinate to me. And subordinate to me lies beyond the cause and effect of this material world. So there is Kshetra. Kshetra is our body. Inside the Kshetra is the owner of the Kshetra, the one who works for it. Who works for it, do you know? The Atma. So there is Atma. So first Krishna is talking about this Atma. Who is the knowable? Who knows the Kshetra? Okay, one should know one's Kshetra, one's body, where one is working, which city he is living, which country he is living. All that Kshetra, if you know, then we can utilize it properly. Similarly, the spirit knows this Kshetra, that is the human body, knowing which you will taste the eternal. The soul is eternal. Okay, Brahman. It is spiritual in nature. Join. The spirit, the beginningless. The spirit, that is the soul, the Atma, and it is beginningless. Okay, there is no beginning to it. It didn't start with time zero or something. Okay, it was always there, present, and subordinate to me. This is a very important word, subordinate to me. So whom is talking about? The Atma, because the Atma is subordinate. So, Mat Param. Mat Param is subordinate to me. Okay. Beyond the cause and effect of this material world. So this material world is running on this principle. What it is? Cause and effect. You do something, the material world gives back something. Right? For every action, there's a equal and opposite reaction. You must have heard this, right? So that's basically cause and effect. That is this material world. But the Atma is beyond the cause and effect of this material world. Okay, because it is completely spiritual. Okay. Okay, can you volunteer to read this highlighted sections?
Hare Krishna, I'll read the book.
Yeah, read the highlighted sections.
Okay. So, but is it only me in today's class?
Hmm?
There's nobody else, right?
Hmm.
There's only one person in, right? Nobody else.
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
someone will join
Now,
in 1 2 minutes.
okay, okay. I'll start. Hare Krishna. Now we begin to now he begins to explain the knowledgeable, the knowable, first the soul and the super soul. By the knowledge of the knower, both the soul and the super soul, one can relish the nectar of life. No specific date at which the jiva was born.
Born. There is no specific date. Okay, we have one more. न जायते म्रियते वा विपश्चित न कदाचित. One more. Yeah. Go ahead. Read this section.
Now, the Supreme Lord as a super soul is also stated in the Vedic literature, Shastra Vara
Shwet.
Upanishad
Shwetashwara.
6.16,
Hmm.
to be Pradhana Kshetrajana
Kshetrajna Patir Gunesh.
Chetnagya Pate Gunas, the chief knower of the body and the master of the three modes of material nature.
So,
Now, the
one
living
minute.
and
Just
sorry,
hold
yeah,
on. Yeah. So, you see the word patir is used. Pati. Pati. Pradhana Kshetrajna. Kshetrajna means one who knows the Kshetra, one who controls the Kshetra. Pradhana means the chief. Pradhan Mantri. You must have heard this word, right? So the chief knower of the Pati. So he's Pati also, meaning he's the controller of Gunesha, the whole material world. That is pointing to the super soul, Paramatma. Okay. But the living entity is not Patir, neither his Pradhana, but he is Kshetrajna. He is secondary Patir of the Kshetra. Secondary. He controls only his Kshetra. But the Paramatma controls all Kshetra that is there. Okay, go ahead, read. Continue. The living entities.
the living entities are eternally in the service of the Supreme Lord. This is also confirmed by the Lord Chaitanya in his teachings. Therefore, the description of Brahman mentioned in this verse is in relation to the individual soul. And when the word Brahman is applied to the living entity, it is to be understood that he is Vijnana Brahma, as opposed to Anand. Anand Brahma is a supreme Brahman personality of Godhead.
Yeah. So in the Smriti it is said, Dasa Bhuto Harer Eva Nanyavasya Kadachana. So the word Dasa is used. The word Dasa is used. And here the word Patir is used. So whenever it is talking about Patira, Pradhana, then chief, then it is pointing to Paramatma. But when it talks about Dasa Bhuta, when it immediately says Dasa, then it is talking about pointing to the living entity, the Jivatma. Because the knower, the Kshetrajna, are two Kshetrajnas, the Jivatma and the Super Soul. So that's why now Krishna is going to talk about the Paramatma. He's going to give little more information about it. Everywhere are his hands, his legs, his eyes, heads, and faces, and he has ears everywhere. In this way, the super soul exists, pervading everything. Can you read this section, highlighted section? Can anyone volunteer to read this highlighted section?
Hare
Yes,
Krishna Prabhu. Can I?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
As the sun exists, diffusing its unlimited rays, so does the Super Soul or Supreme Personality of Godhead. He exists in his all pervading form, and in him exist all the individual living entities, beginning from the first great teacher, Brahma, down to the small ants. There are unlimited heads, legs, hands, and eyes, and unlimited living entities. All are existing in and on the super soul. Therefore, the super soul is all pervading. The individual soul, however, cannot say that he has his hands, legs, and eyes everywhere. That is not possible. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So as Jivatma, as you and me, can our is our hands and legs everywhere, eyes everywhere? No, right? Yes or no? Are our hands and legs, eyes everywhere? Is
No.
no, no? Because this is very important to understand. Why this question, which is very easy to understand, is actually used to confuse people. Okay, so Paramatma's hands and legs are everywhere, eyes are everywhere, but the Jivatma is not everywhere. I mean, Jivatma's hands and legs are not everywhere. Okay, they are only particularly attached to one body, right? To our body, to my body. It is just attached to that. Beyond it, I am not able to see what is your body. You are not able to see my body. But the Paramatma in your heart is same as the Paramatma in my heart. Okay. So there are these philosophers who are impersonalist, and they say that you can they in the Vedas there are few statements that are made. Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi. Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi. Aham Brahmasmi means I am Brahman. Tattvamasi means you are that. I am Brahman means I am spiritual, I am spirit, I am soul. Jivatma. Okay? Is this clear? This understanding is clear? Aham Brahmasmi. Is this clear? I am Brahman. I am spiritual in nature.
yes, Prabhu. Yes,
Yeah.
Prabhu.
Okay. Tattvamasi means you are that. See, these are big statements in the Upanishads. Okay. Tattvamasi means you are that. Means presently what you are not that, but you are something else. And that points to Brahman only. So you are Brahman. Okay. Now, my next question is, are you Para Brahman? What is the answer? Aham Brahmasmi. Are you Para Brahman? Are you Supreme Brahman? Yes or
No,
no?
Prabhu. No, Prabhu.
Oh, good. So who is Supreme Brahman? Paramatma. Okay, we call it Paramatma. Paramatma, Super Soul is the Supreme Brahman. And we know Paramatma is Krishna, so Krishna is the Supreme Brahman. Okay, so this is concept is clear. You're that means you're not the material body, but you're the spiritual essence within the body. Okay, now there are set of philosophers who are Mayavadis. They follow the impersonalist path where they want to merge into Brahman. They come to conclusion after reading these statements, these two and many more else, which says that Aham Brahmasmi means you are God. You are God. So now our question is, are you God? Can you answer? Are you God?
Not at all, Prabhu.
that's why Prabhupada writes here, what is the reason that we are not God then? So this is the answer. God's eyes, hands, legs are everywhere. Our eyes, hands, legs are not everywhere. They are only fixed to one body. Right? So therefore we are not God. Then what does Aham Brahmasmi means? We are godly, but not God. That is another meaning. We are godly, but not God. Got it? We are part and parcel of Krishna. That is what it means by Aham Brahmasmi. But the Mayavadis, they say, no, 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 you are God. Now you don't know, but by doing tapasya, you will become God. This is a big philosophy by Shankaracharya people. Okay? So, in the Sampradaya of Shankaracharya, ultimately they will make you God. So, we should know how to say that we are not God. Now, does that make sense about this statement that I've highlighted? Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
So, it is a big philosophical, I mean, these Shankaracharya people, they are everywhere, all around India and outside also. So, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi. Nirvishesh. So they talk about Nirvishesh and all that. Ultimately say you are also God. But then we say no, we are godly but not God. Okay. Can someone read this highlighted section in Bhagavad Gita?
Yes, Prabhu, I will read.
Hmm.
In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that if anyone offers him a flower or a fruit or a little water, he accepts it. If the Lord is a far distance away, how can he accept things? This is the omnipotence of the Lord. Even though he is situated in his own abode, far, far away from earth, he can extend his hand to accept what anyone offers. That is his potency. Hare Krishna.
So now if so this is now another quality of God, that he accepts flower, fruit, little water. Do you know where Krishna says I accept flower, fruit, little water? In which Shastra he says? Do you know? If someone asks, why are you offering food to Krishna? What is your answer? Where it is written? Where it is written? Okay, if you don't know, then here is the answer. 9.26 in Bhagavad Gita. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhakta prayachati tadaham bhakti uparitam ashnami prayatatmanaha. Patram. Patram means what? Leaf. Pushpam.
Leaves.
Pushpam means pushpa.
Flowers,
Flowers. Phalam means phal.
fruits. Yeah.
Fruits.
Fruit.
Toyam is water. Yo me
Water.
bhakta prayachati, offering. Prayachati means offering. With bhakti, that is devotion. Hmm? By doing this, I will accept it. So here Krishna says why he accepts vegetarian food. Is there mention of muttonam, chickenam, andanam? Is it there?
No, no
No,
problem.
only this thing. That's why. So if somebody asks why we are offering 9.26 of Bhagavad Gita, open up, make him read. Is that clear? Is it clear?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah. We should know why we are doing what we are doing. If our children ask why we are offering, why not onion garlic, why not this, why not that, open the book, show them. So Krishna accepts these things. Okay, Krishna accepts this thing. Okay, coming back to our thing. So that is so Krishna is there uh, in his abode, Golok Vrindavan, Vaikuntha planets, but he's omnipresent. He's present everywhere. Therefore, he accepts. He's present in the deity form, in the Archa Vigraha form. So he accepts. How Krishna eats? Okay, next question. How Krishna eats? How Krishna eats? Do you know? We offer him and we say this is prasad. Krishna ate it.
Prabhu, it's the how which we offer to Krishna, and then
Bhav is there, of course. Therefore, Krishna
hmm,
accepts. But how he eats? He should eat, na. Otherwise, how can we call it prasad? So this is a verse in Brahma Samhita 5.32. Angani yasa sakalendriya vritti manti pashyanti panti kalayanti chirajaganti. Ananda chinmaya sat ujjvala vigrahasya govindam adi purusham tamam bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primal Lord, whose transcendental form is full of bliss, truth, substantiality, and is full of most dazzling splendor. Okay, this one. Each of the limbs of the transcendental figure possesses himself the full-fledged function of all the organs and eternally sees and maintains and manifests the infinite universes. So, what does this mean is the senses of Krishna, senses of Govinda, that is Krishna, possess each of the sense that he has, possess the functions of all the other senses. So, the eyes can talk and the mouth can walk. That is how the senses of Krishna are. They can do multi activities of other functions also, other senses also. So through his eyes, Krishna eats. Do we eat by our eyes? I will give you gulab jamun. You eat it now. This is gulab jamun. Eat it by your eyes. We cannot. We eat the actual gulab jamun, right? So through our eyes we cannot eat, but Krishna can eat through his eyes. So when we offer him with uh, prema, that is bhakti, then he eats it through his eyes. Got it? This is how Krishna eats. Then it becomes prasad. So you understand how the bhav attracts the Lord and then he eats it through his eyes. Is this clear? Any question? Any question?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah.
Prabhu, I have a question.
Hmm.
People, when I say I don't consume onion garlic, they immediately ask why.
Good.
When I
Good.
say that
Hmm.
we offer the boga,
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
we offer it to Krishna. So Krishna doesn't consume onion garlic. So that's why we are also not consuming it. Like that, I'll tell them, Prabhu. But
Okay.
this answer, is this answer is right, or to say in any other in better way?
Right. So first thing is Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. This is the verse. Hmm? Second thing is there are foods in three modes of material nature, which we will cover when we reach 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. But for your benefit, I will go there.
Okay.
Food. So there are three modes: Sattvagun, Rajagun, Tamagun. You must have heard this word: Sattva, Rajas, Tamas,
Mm.
which is goodness, passion,
Yes. Yes.
ignorance. So all our activities, whatever we do, whatever we eat, music, everything will fall into one of the three. Okay, it will be either Sattva, it will be either
Okay.
Rajas, it will be either Tamas. Now,
Mm.
when we associate with Sattva, we'll be happy. When we associate with Rajas, we'll be miserable. When we
Mm.
associate with Tamas, we'll be mad. Madness will come.
Mm.
Okay?
Okay.
Now, many things. Now,
Okay.
so we will talk about food because you asked about food. Let's go to food. Food
Yes.
in the 17th chapter 7 and 10, Krishna says that food which is juicy, fatty, wholesome, pleasing to heart, increases longevity, purifies existence, gives strength, health, happiness, satisfaction. So this food indicates what? Milk and grains, vegetable and fruits. Okay. They are juicy, they are
Yes.
fatty. By eating them, our life increases. Now, next is, so here
Mm.
if we eat, we'll be happy. Second one is in Rajas, passion, it
Okay.
is bitter, sour, salty, hot, pungent, spicy, dry, burning, too much spicy, causes distress, misery, and disease. So it already says that it causes misery. Too much
Mm.
of chili may cause misery,
Yes.
right? Next day morning we'll have problem, right?
Mm. Yes.
Then
Yes.
third is tamas, which is old over 3 hours, tasteless, decomposed. Which foods are decomposed?
Mm.
When
Okay.
you kill an animal, the body
Okay.
starts decomposing. So what they do when they catch fish, what they do, how do they transport it?
Yeah, they keep it in the ice box.
Why? Because decomposing becomes slow when we put it in
Deep.
ice.
Yes.
So non-veg
Yes.
food and all that portrayed consisting of remnant untouchable things. A dead body, when we touch,
Okay.
we take bath, right? So those who touch
Mm.
dead bodies of
Yes.
animals, they also have to take bath. That's untouchable, right?
Mm.
So now
Yes. Yes.
the food, even though it is vegetarian, like chilies, huh,
Mm.
it can
Yes.
cause
Yes,
misery
Prabhu.
if it is too much. Even though it may be
Okay.
grapes, but if we decompose it and
Mm.
ferment it, if we ferment grape juice for months and years, what does it happen? What does it become to?
Um,
Wine.
Wine.
Wine. And if we drink wine and drive,
Wine. Yes.
what will happen?
Cause trouble, accident happens.
So madness. It is in mode of ignorance. Okay.
Madness.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So even though it may be vegetarian food, but the result is what? Madness. The result is misery.
Mm.
So the now the food,
Okay.
onion and garlic, where do they lie? They are pungent. That's the word,
Mm.
pungent. So
Okay.
therefore they lie in mode of passion, rajas. In mode of,
Passion.
yeah. And rajas is not recommended for spiritual life. For spiritual life, sattva is mentioned. Sattva is recommended. So that's why we avoid food which will increase pungent, which will increase rajas in us. Therefore, we will avoid onion and garlic. Got it? Because they do that.
Okay.
Hmm. But
Okay.
then somebody may
Okay.
ask, then you are missing on it. No, we are not missing. We will use hing, asatopodia.
Mm.
So if we use
Yeah.
asatopodia,
Mm.
then it is still sattva and it is not misery. And it gives the similar kind of
Mm.
pungentness in a sattva form. Okay?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
That is
But
one.
people will be like, we are we are not having proper nutrition. Like
So that's
we
why
are
I'll say,
like
na, we will have
it's like
nutrition through other foods. Through other foods.
yes,
It's not
Prabhu,
like,
but they are not
hmm,
convinced. Only for the onion garlic, they make they think that we are sacrificing so much
you should
things.
tell them, you should tell them that, so many
Yes.
Brahmanical families, whether you go north, south, east,
Hmm.
west of India, so many
Hmm.
Brahmanical families for so many centuries, they never ate onion
Ah.
garlic, right?
Okay.
It is
Yes.
not that I am
Yes.
only doing it today. It is not that ISKCON is telling today only.
Hmm.
No, it was done 100 years back, it was
Hmm.
done 1000 years back, it was done 5000 years back. Okay?
Hmm.
I am
Yes.
following that diet,
Yes.
Brahmanical diet. And it's not like all of them
Hmm.
died of disease or some, So whatever nutrients I
Hmm.
need, I will try to find it within the rajas, within the sattva
Tattva.
vegetables,
Ah.
grains, and this thing. Hmm?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Prabhu.
Now, whether they accept
Thank you,
it, don't
Prabhu.
accept it, we don't care. We just say we are following 5000 years
Okay.
old diet of the Brahmanical families. That's it. So if you have problem, you go to
Okay.
north Brahmanas and fight with them. If you have another problem, you go to west Brahmanas and fight with them. But I don't mind.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So Krishna is
Okay, Prabhu.
omnipotent.
Thank you.
He's everywhere. He's everywhere in his abode, and through his eyes he's eating, and his eyes are everywhere. So that's how he eats, even in the deity form. That is his potency. Okay. Text number 50. The super soul, that is the Paramatma, is the original source of all senses, yet he is without senses. Okay, now interesting. He is original source of all senses and he is without the sense. How can that happen? So this meaning, see, the Shastras now they speak like this. Okay, they are aprokshavad. They will talk indirectly, and Krishna likes it. Sarvatah pani padam tat. Oh no, we are in 15th, right? सर्वेन्द्रिय गुण भाष्यम सर्वेन्द्रिय विवर्जितम सर्वेन्द्रिय गुण भाषम abhasham means source. I am source of all indriya, that is senses. Vivarjitam, but I don't have it. So this indriya means what indriya they are talking? Material indriyas, material senses. It is not talking about spiritual senses. What is spiritual sense? We discussed here. Each of the sense can work as any other sense. Krishna has this kind of sense. But does he have the material senses? Does he have this material senses? No. That only we have. Jivatma. Okay? That kind of material senses only we have. So we have problem with all the senses. Krishna doesn't have problem with sense because his senses are spiritual. Our senses are material. So when Krishna says, I don't have material sense, I don't have senses means I don't have material senses. Nirvikar, nirguna, nirakar. That akar is not material, it is spiritual. This is what it means by nirguna, nirakar, nirvishesh. Nirvishesh. Yeah, nirvishesh. The the material qualities are not there in Krishna. Everything is spiritual. He is unattached, although he is the maintainer of all living entities. He transcends the modes of nature, and at the same time, he is master of all modes of material nature. Okay, Krishna controls everything. Okay, he is the maintainer of all living entities. He maintains them. He controls the three modes: Sattvagun, Rajagun, Tamagun, and he is the master also. Okay, okay. Someone, can you read? Just a minute. Okay, can someone read this section? The Supreme Lord. Anyone?
I'll read Prabhu. Yeah, I'll read Prabhu. Hare Krishna. The Supreme Lord, although the source of all the senses of the living entities, does not have material senses like they have. Actually, the individual souls have spiritual senses, but in conditioned life, they are covered with material elements, and therefore the sense activities are exhibited through matter. The Supreme Lord's senses are not so covered. His senses are transcendental and are therefore called nirguna. Guna means material modes, but his senses are without material covering. It should be understood that his senses are not exactly like ours. Although he is the source of all our sensory activities, he has his transcendental senses which are uncontaminated. This is very nicely explained in Shwe, Shwe,
Shvetashvara Upanishad.
Shwetastvara Upanishad
In the verse
3.19 in the words
Apani Pado
Apani
Javano
Pado
Grahita.
Apanipado Javano Grahita. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has no hands, which are whatever. One second. No,
Which are materially contaminated.
I think some it's not coming properly. Okay, Godhead has no hands which are materially contaminated, but he has his hands and accepts whatever sacrifice is offered to him. This is the distinction between the conditioned soul and the super soul. He has no material eyes, but he has eyes. Otherwise, how could he see? He sees everything, past, present, future. He lives within the heart of the living being, and he knows what we have done in the past, what we are doing now, and what is awaiting in the future. This is also,
So his eyes is that he can see past, present, future. Through our eyes, what we can see?
we can't even see Prabhu, which is
No, we can
lying
see
in front of
present.
us.
We
We
can
can
see
see
only
present.
present things.
I'm just saying, even though we have eyes, we can't even see present properly. That's what I
We
was
can't
trying
even
to
see
say.
present properly. That is there, of course. We cannot see beyond this wall. We cannot see beyond the screen, right? But Krishna can see past also, and Krishna can see future also, which we cannot see. So his eyes are there, but they are transcendental. They are spiritual in nature. This is what it means by spiritual in nature, meaning it is not bounded by material laws, but the material eyes and senses are bounded by material laws. Even the ears, you know, right, how much frequency can we hear? Can we hear the dog's whistle? Do you know what is the dog's whistle? Have you ever heard dog's whistle? I will show you what is the dog's whistle. The dog's this is the dog's whistle. Have you seen this kind of whistle?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
So if you blow air in it, what do you hear?
A sound, like a
Actually, we
whistle
don't
sound,
hear
it comes.
anything. This dog's whistle creates a frequency which we don't hear. So who hears it? The
Okay.
dog hears
Dog.
it. Yeah. So our senses are that much limited. Only a frequency of 30 hertz to 30,000 hertz, something like that, we can hear. But gigahertz frequency can we hear? No. So our senses are limited. Yeah. Start from here. He knows everything. Can anyone read?
He knows everything, but no one knows him. It is said that the Supreme Lord has no legs like us, but he can travel throughout space because he has spiritual legs. In other words, the Lord is not impersonal. He has his eyes, legs, hands, and everything else. And because we are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, we also have these things. But his hands, legs, eyes, and senses are not contaminated by material nature.
Go ahead. Read more. Next one.
Yes, Prabhu. Bhagavad Gita also confirms that when the Lord appears, he appears as he is by his eternal potency. He
Internal
is not
potency.
contaminated.
Internal potency.
Oh, sorry. Internal potency. He is not contaminated by the material energy because he is the Lord of material energy.
Yeah. So this
In
statement,
the
right?
Vedic. Yeah.
In this statement is very, very important because I was talking about the Mayavadis. They say you can become God, but we can tell, I cannot become God. Why today I am not God? They'll say, no, no, because the Maya is covering you. So if you do tapasya and all this, meditation, you can break through Maya and then you become God. This is the answer. But Bhagavad Gita says, Maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. Krishna says, Maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. Maya adhyakshena prakriti. Maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. 9.10. Maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. Maya means me. Adhyaksha. Adhyaksha, what is the Hindi word adhyaksha? Adhyaksha means मेरे देख रेख के नीचे, right? Prakriti is material nature. Under my superintendence, under my supervision, material nature acts. Suye se sa characharam. Characharam, moving, non-moving. So Krishna says this whole material nature is moving under him, under his direction, isn't it? This is the verse 9.10. So is the Prakriti under our Adhyaksha? Are we able to control the Prakriti?
No, Prabhu.
Yeah. Is Krishna able to control the Prakriti? Yes. Why? He says this in 9.10,
Yes.
and through his pastimes he shows. So if we were to become God, then the Prakriti should be under our control, right? Yes. Prakriti should be under our control. So how can we become God then? Because, sorry, Prakriti is not in our control. Is not in our control, right? Prakriti is not in our control. We are not able to control the earth, water, fire, air, ether, right? Are we able to control even our
No.
urges? No, right? So how can we become God?
No.
So if Maya is controlling us, that means Maya has that ability to control us. Okay. So we cannot become God. That is the answer. Only Krishna is God. Why? Because he controls the Maya. If we were God, then we should have controlled Maya, right? But we cannot. So for us, Maya is God because it is controlling. But then Krishna says, I control Maya, I control Prakriti. So who is God now? Krishna. Does it make sense? Prakriti. Does this make sense, this explanation? Prakriti controls us. That is there. So we can control. Okay, we can conclude that okay, somebody who's controlling me has to be superior. So Prakriti is God. But Krishna says, I control Prakriti. So now who becomes God? Krishna becomes God because he controls. Do you know what is what is another name for Prakriti? She is wife of Lord Shiva. Who is she? Who is she?
Parvati Devi.
Yeah, another name. When she holds Trishul in her hand, what do we call her?
Durga.
Durga. So Durga is Prakriti. So do we control Durga? Can we control Durga? No. Who controls
No.
Durga?
No.
Krishna. Here he says, even in Brahma Samhita, it is said. Brahma, he also says. I'll just show you. Yeah. सृष्टि स्थिति प्रलय साधन शक्ति रेखा छायो यस्य भुवनानि बिभर्ति दुर्गा इच्छानुरूपम यस्य चेष चेसा गोविंदम आदि पुरुषम तमहम भजामि. Ichha Rupa. Krishna does Ichha and Durga follows it. So by Durga is how she is conducting by Ichha. Ichha, you understand? Ichha is desire. Of Govinda. Govinda desires. Govinda has a Ichha and Durga goes and conducts accordingly. The external potency of Maya, who is of the nature of the shadow of Chit potency, is worshipped by all people as Durga, the creating, persevering, and destroying agency of this mundane world. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, in accordance with whose Ichha will Durga conducts herself. Chetsa. Chetsa. Okay. So this is another verse, 5.50. Okay. Hmm. So we'll go to 16th verse. The Supreme Lord exists outside and inside of all living beings, the moving and non-moving, because he's subtle, because he's beyond the power of material senses to all or to known. Although far away, he is also near. He's far away means he's in the Vaikuntha planets, but because he's in every atom, he's near as the Paramatma. Okay, this is how he's far and he's near. Suppose, our son or daughter, or maybe husband or wife is far away in some another city, let's say Bombay. But the moment we think about them, they are near, isn't it? So they are still far and they are near
Yes.
also, isn't it? That's why Bollywood writes some songs like this. You are far, but you are near. When I think of you, you are near, but actually you are far. So this concept comes from this Paramatma. Krishna is far, he is in his abode, but he is also near as Paramatma within our heart also. We cannot see and understand with these material senses. Can we understand with these material senses? Krishna is far, Krishna is near? No. Therefore, in Vedic language, it is said to that to understand him, our material mind and senses cannot act. But one who is purified his mind and senses by practicing Krishna consciousness in devotional service. So those who do bhakti, they only can see him constantly. It is confirmed Brahma Samhita that the devotee who has developed love for Krishna can see him always without cessation. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. Another verse. And the Bhagavad Gita 11.54. He says Bhaktya Ananya Sakhya. Only by devotional service you can know me. So just go to 11.54. Oh. भक्त्या तव अनन्य साख्य शक्य शक्य ये बात शक्य that shakya word is come from here. Only by bhakti, ananya bhakti, it is possible. Shakya means possible. Aham evam vido Arjuna. It's possible to see me like this, meaning two-handed form. Jan gyatum gyatum drishtum cha tatvena. You can know me, gyatum drishtum, you can see me in full truth. Pravashantu tu tetsa parantapa. And to enter into pravesha you have heard, na? Pravesh karo, pravesh, this is the pravesh. So only by what? The very first word, bhakti. So only by bhakti we can understand Krishna. Bhaktya to ananda shakya. 70. Although the supreme super soul Paramatma appears to be divided among all beings, he is never divided. He is situated as one. Although he is maintainer of all living entity, it is understood that he devours and develops all. So super soul is in everyone's heart, right? Isn't it? Super soul is in everyone's heart. Yes or no?
Yes, Prabhu.
Is in everyone's heart. The soul and the super soul. So it seems like he's divided. So is he really divided? Is he really divided? No. So how do we understand this? That the same super soul is in every other body. So the example is given is it is given this example. Let's see. Okay, this is interesting. This is a nice example. Let me see if there is any picture. the sun. Okay, let's take this example. This more coming. Okay. Okay. So you see there are many pots here, isn't it? There are many pots, 5, 7 pots. In each pot there is water. Now, if I tell you look inside the pot, do you see the sun? Do you see the sun in each of these pots? Yes or no? Hmm? Do you see the sun in each of these pots? Tell me.
Yeah, as in reflection is there, Prabhu.
Yeah. So does that mean that sun is divided? In each pot I see one sun, another I see, and so is it divided?
No.
No. No. That's how Paramatma is. Just like the reflection of the sun is there in each of the pot, and there may be 100 pots, 1,000 pots, million pots. In in each and every pot, if you fill it with water, we can see the same sun that we are seeing in the sky and the same sun that we are seeing in each of the pots. Similarly, the Paramatma is in everyone's heart and he is not divided. He just appears to be divided, but actually he is not divided. Does it make sense now? How he is the same? Just like the sun is seen in all the pots, the Paramatma is also.
So, Prabhu, that same thing, na achantya, achitya, abheda, abheda,
No,
right?
that is little different understanding.
That is
Achintya
different
Bheda
understanding.
Abheda Tattva. That
Hmm.
is different. That is little different. But you can say Achintya. Achintya means not easily understood. So
Okay.
example is given. I'm just trying to help you understand from the example that the sun is the same, but in all the pots we can see the same sun. It appears as if it's divided, but actually it is not divided. Its reflection is everywhere. But the Paramatma is not a reflection. It is the real Paramatma. Okay, that is the difference between the example and the Paramatma. That the in the example the sun's reflection is there, right? But in the Paramatma case, the reflection, it is not a reflection. Reflection means there is one thing and this is something else. No, it is the same Paramatma. That is the potency of the Lord. Hmm? It is just to help us to understand how he is not divided and still he is there everywhere. Okay, go a little faster. Let's see. Okay. Can someone read this section highlighted? The Lord is situated.
Yes, Prabhu, I will read. The Lord is situated in everyone's heart as the super soul. Does this mean that he has become divided? No, actually, he is one. The example is given of the sun. The sun at the meridian is situated in its place. But if one goes for 5,000 miles in all directions and asks, where is the sun? Everyone will say that it is shining on his head. In the Vedic literature, this example is given to show that although he is undivided, he is situated as if divided. Also, it is said in Vedic literature that one Vishnu is present everywhere by his omnipotence. Just as the sun appears in many places to many persons, and the Supreme Lord, although the maintainer of every living entity, devotes everything at the time of annihilation. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
So just like the sun, everyone sees the sun, and they will say the sun is on my head. So that does that mean he's not on my head? No. That's how the sun is appearing to be divided, but he's undivided. That's another example. Again, the sun is used. Okay. Text number 18. He is the source of light in all luminous objects. He is beyond darkness of matter and is unmanifested. Unmanifested means he's not taken birth. He's there from time immemorial, no beginning. He's knowledge, he's object of knowledge, and he's the goal of knowledge. So Arjuna asked this question, what is the object of knowledge? What is the goal of knowledge? So who is the object of knowledge? Who is the goal of knowledge? Param Atma. He is situated in everyone's heart. Okay, someone read this section. Can someone
Can I
read?
promise you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. He is situated in everyone's heart as the supreme controller. The supreme has legs and hands distributed everywhere, and this cannot be said of the individual soul. Therefore, that there are two nodes of the field of activity, the individual soul and the super soul, must be admitted. One's hands and legs are distributed locally, but Krishna's hands and legs are distributed everywhere. This is confirmed in the
Shvetaswara
Shweta
Upanishad.
Shvetaswara Upanishad 3.17
Sarvasya Prabhun Ishanam Sarvasya Saranam Brihat.
Brihat. That Supreme Personality of Godhead, Super Soul, is the Prabhu or Master of all living entities. Therefore, He is the ultimate shelter of all living entities. So, there is no denying the fact that the Supreme Super Soul and the individual soul are different,
Always
are
different.
always different. Yeah.
See, the Mayavadis, they say that you are the God. So they are trying to equate us to God. Okay. So that's why these purports and all that Prabhupada and Acharyas are explaining that actually, no, it's not like that. So there was a great Acharya, his name was Madhvacharya. Okay. This is Madhvacharya. And then we have Acharya Shankaracharya. No? Google. Okay. Shankaracharya. If you see, this is Shankaracharya and this is Madhvacharya. What is the difference between both of them? Can you make the difference? Can you mark the difference? In their mudra, the way they are holding their hand, there's a difference. Can you detect that difference? The way Madhvacharya is holding, the way where it is. Ah, the way Madhvacharya is holding and the way Shankaracharya is holding. What is the difference between the two? Can you tell me? Look at the fingers.
But they're completely different way of mudras.
So, what is the main difference?
The thumb is inside in Madhvacharya.
Okay.
I'm unable to kind of zoom in on phone, Prabhu, so I'm unable to kind of,
Okay.
stop.
Okay. So this is a DT form. You're not able to see it properly now. Okay. Let me pick up another one. It's actually called Adi Shankaracharya. Adi Shankaracharya. Adi Shankaracharya. So the mudra of Adi Shankaracharya. Hopefully, we are going a lot of places today. Is actually having a single finger. Adi Shankaracharya. Only one finger that he has. But Madhvacharya, how many fingers is showing? How many fingers is he showing?
Two,
Huh?
two fingers.
Yeah. So Shankaracharya said, Tattvamasi, you are that, Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman, I am God. So we are all one. Madhvacharya says, no, we are not one. We are two, Paramatma and Jiva. Okay, that's why we are two. We are there's Paramatma and Jiva. They are different. We are not one. Then comes the philosophy that you were talking about. So let's put it like this. Adi Shankaracharya. Adi Shankaracharya. You are one. Or let's put it, we are one. Madhvacharya. We are two. Then how do we understand this verse? If Aham Brahmasmi Tattvamasi, how can we be two and one at the same time? So here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes and he gives the integration of everything and the explanation. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where he says Achintya Bhed Abhed Tattva. This is the one. Adi Shankaracharya's Tattva is Advait. Advait. Madhvacharya is saying Dvaita. Two. Dvaita. Two. Advaita means not two but one. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu integrates both Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva. You are two and one at the same time. We are two and one at the same time. How do we understand this then? When husband and wife marry, what do everyone says? Now you have become one. So are they one or are they two? When husband and wife marry, we say they are one now. So are they one or are they two? You tell me. How many are married in this call? Anyone married in this?
Yes, Prabhu.
So are you
So,
one or are
We
you
are
two?
two, Prabhuji.
where to, Prabhu?
But then you are one also. Na? Shastra says husband and wife are one.
Correct. So that's where,
So how come
Prabhu.
we are one and how come we are two at the same time?
So if we look philosophically, probably, under the marriage
Hmm.
institution, as we say it, Prabhu, that when the female get married, then married and comes accepted under the, you know, male's family. So that becomes part of that
Hmm.
particular gotra or
Okay,
family,
okay, okay, okay.
right?
Okay, before you give big description, let me short it down.
Ah,
We are one, the husband and wife is one in purpose. It's a team. The team, one team. We call it one team in offices, in everywhere, right? India's cricket team is one team, but how many people are there? 11, 12 people are there. How come it is one team? It is purpose. For the purpose, they are together. So they become one. Otherwise, they are individuals. Now you understand? Do you understand? How
yes, Prabhu.
come?
Yes,
Yeah.
Prabhu.
So Achinta Bheda Bheda Tattva means we are having the same qualities as the Supreme, but in different quantities. Just like one drop of seawater has all the qualities of the sea. But is it sea? No. But the quality wise it is same. Quantity wise it is different. That's how we become one. And that's how we are also two. Okay, so there is Dvaita also and there is Advaita also. Both are integrated into this. And it is Achintya. Achintya means difficult to understand. But at the same time, with examples, we can understand. Does this help?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So we completed till 18, right? Yeah, yeah, we completed till 18. So next week we'll continue with 19. Any questions or comments? Any questions or comments?
No problem.
Okay, so if no questions, we will stop